My name is Crystal, and I'm currently an employment specialist working with veterans. Some things that I've learned with having a dance background that helps me with my current employment, big time organization and thinking out of the box. I learned like you always have to find another way, another creative solution to getting people where they need to be. So, and I learned that a lot through dance. Like, there's a lot of troubleshooting that goes on, a lot of, trial and error, a lot of things that you have to practice and practice and practice before you can get correctly. And I bring that a lot to where I'm at now. So when I'm trying to find my veterans employment, there's a lot of things that we have to troubleshoot and go through before we actually find them employment, whether it's learning how to do interviews, that takes a lot of practice and, learning how to, we actually do that. It's kind of like a role playing, which we do in dance as well. You have to try the new thing before you put it into something that you're going to perform, right? So all that stuff I've brought onto the job that I've learned I'm doing now.
Hi, my name is Sayla, and I'm a model. I think having dance in my life has definitely made me learn like discipline and taking criticism because it can be very hard to like really listen to what you need to work on and take that and really apply it. So being able to have all these years of dance and take constructive criticism has helped me with my modeling career. Like, listen to what they're telling me to do and follow that so everything goes smoother.
I'm Damaris and I'm a school social worker. Yeah, so one thing I really remember learning was being introduced to mindfulness in dance school. I think when you're connecting with people, the most important part is like that trust, that rapport, and we really built that like in dance class from not just like spending so much time together, but the partner work that we had to do and just it you had to trust each other and I guess like kind of listening, even though or like just like paying attention, like listening, but not even to what the person's saying, more like what they're doing. Um, so it's definitely similar to like active like listening and things like that.
My name's David, and I am a local artist from Jersey City. I perform music, specifically hip hop music, under the stage name Murdoch. I was in college at Montclair for theater. So much of the curriculum and so much of the classes were just movement based, and they were just about unlocking the different uses in which you can use your body as your instrument. And luckily, I had already had a lot of that practice and a lot of that education. Um, Planted in me like a seed from the dance classes that I had taken in high school. So it's the same thing in terms of performing, whether that be acting or even music, which also stems from dancing when you're learning how to go along to the beat and just use your body. So yeah, dancing has, although I'm not a professional dancer and that's not like necessarily what I do, the training and the education that I learned from dancing is still heavily implemented.
My name is Amanda. I have my bachelor's in exercise science with a concentration in clinical and professional studies and a minor in sports coaching. And currently I'm pursuing my master's in athletic training. Actually, it's 4 years of dance and taught me that like taking care of your body is important, which made me get into the exercise science field in dance class in high school. Like whenever we went over like the anatomy of the body or the movement of the body, definitely helped my understanding later on when I took those courses in college and for my master's degree now, just because we would go over it and we would explain the movement with our bodies themselves. Like we would go over what flexion is or what extension is or circumduction. And we would do the movement itself. And then versus in like a lecture where you're kind of just learning it, like, oh, flexion is this, extension is this. So honestly, like I'm more of a kinesthetic learner where I learn by seeing and doing. So that's how I caught up way more.
My name is Emily. I am currently a senior payroll analyst. And this always reminds me of like coming up with like, okay, what is the literal like timing of everything that we're doing. What are all the steps? Who's doing what when? This is when I come in and I'm like, oh yes, I can do this. We've done this like in every aspect of dance and dance making and production, like knowing what people are doing, when are they doing it, and like knowing who's going where and doing what. So when it comes to like project management specifically, this is like 100% like correlation. When it comes to working with finances, I think it's interesting, like taking an artistic approach to anything that you're doing, whether that's like having to be collaborative in a different way, or like having to bring other teams together or whatever that is. Like, I don't know, there's something about being able to like even just communicate a little bit differently than people who have kind of just been doing this specific job. So
I am Zarishadai Ruiz. I call myself a movement and wellness facilitator. I am a yoga teacher and a fitness instructor. The similarities with dance and what I do now are, it seems obvious, it's related to the body, it's related to movement. But something deeper that's like particularly connected to what I'm doing now is the awareness that one has, that one develops. I probably still can't articulate how specifically it helps you navigate the world. The better you are connected with yourself, you are better able to navigate the challenges of the world. Before I was teaching yoga and movement, I was working in retail for a while. And there's a lot of labor involved, like physical labor involved. And then I remember working in the stock room and like I had to like pick up heavy boxes and like put them in certain things. And the way that I would like notice like, oh, I'm about to fall, or oh, I have to fit in this little hole. Let me like get my body in this funky little way just so I could finish that task. You helped me a lot in just building my sense of basic proprioception,
Hi, my name is Devin Rodriguez. I am a recording artist and I'm also in human resources. I feel like dance and just performing in general has made me more comfortable with people I barely even know. I get to just connect with them instantly because I feel like when I get on stage, I have to do that. I have to connect to the audience and make sure that they're feeling connected to the piece that we're performing, or to making sure that the choreography is translating to what they're feeling. So I feel like dance has really made a huge impact on how I go about my day when I'm working at my day job, because I'm dealing with, so many people at the company.
So my name is Mia and I'm studying to be a physical education teacher. The biggest thing that I was able to take away from my experience in the dance program was confidence. And I feel like that translates perfectly into me being in a classroom like I am nowadays, because, sometimes you have to be on your feet and improvise, which is a direct translation from some of the things we did in my dance experience. I'm able to apply to what I do with my kids and make them feel good, or at least try to bring that side out of them with the things that felt good for my body that I learned about my body and dance.
My name is Veronica. I'm a senior at Rutgers University. And I think studying dance, even if you don't want to be a performer, can be really useful, because I think it definitely helps with creative thinking. I think it also helps someone connect to their body. I think connecting their body to the world around them, because a lot of what we did was collaborative. It definitely helped me like work with people a bit better, like because everyone had a voice and everyone had a role in what we were doing. Like it showed what group work should be.
Having the connection that we had, we were able to be open with each other in a way that I feel like I wasn't open with other people. You know what I mean? We were there for each other, to lean on each other when emotional things were happening, and be in a creative environment where we were all growing and thriving with each other. So I feel like that in general gives you a stronger backbone.
I learned some of my best lessons in dance. Discipline is one of my favorite things that I learned in dance. You need to be super disciplined, and I feel like that carries you out your whole entire life, right?
Learned was definitely like the etiquette, the business, the work ethic. If you don't have that work ethic, then, you know, what are we doing? What we see in our lives when we're in high school doing dance, it might not be exactly what we think it is, but in some way, shape, or form, dances, we're always going to include that part of our everyday lives.
When people ask me about like myself or where I came from and things like that, I always mention that I dance. It's one of my favorite qualities about myself, one of my favorite parts of my history that I love to mention because it's truly, truly, truly transformed the person that I am today.
Like, it was truly an experience and it's helped me so much in life.